Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to start with a very interesting topic, that is carbon and its compounds. Firstly, we will learn about carbon. So carbon is a chemical element having atomic number 6 and mass number 12. The atomic number indicates two things, that is the number of electrons as well as the number of protons present in an atom. Here in carbon there are 6 electrons as well as 6 protons. The mass number indicates the sum of neutrons and protons. Number of neutrons can be identified by subtracting atomic number from mass number. And carbon is a non-metal. Now let us see the filling of electrons in case of carbon. In the center there is a nucleus. The protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus, and electrons revolve around the nucleus in the shells. The first shell can accommodate only 2 electrons and the next shell can accommodate up to 8 electrons. In case of carbon, the 2 electrons are present in the first shell and the remaining 4 electrons are present in the second shell. This structure is just for understanding. The simplified structure is as follows. We don't need to show protons and neutrons, we can only show the electrons. Now we are going to talk about the existence of carbon. Carbon exists in two forms, graphite and diamond. Everything around us such as clothes, medicines, books, etc. all are carbon based. Carbon is present in very minute quantities in atmosphere and in the earth's crust. Now we are going to talk about its two allotropes, graphite and diamond. Graphite has metallic black appearance and it is used in pencils and lubricants, and also it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Next is diamond. It has a very clear appearance and it is used in jewelry. Also it is used for cutting and polishing tools. Now an interesting question arises, that how carbon bonds. So now we are going to talk about the bonding in carbon. Carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. These 4 electrons are the valence electrons of the carbon. Carbon can either lose or gain 4 electrons in order to be in the nearest noble gas configuration. But losing or gaining 4 electrons at a time making the carbon ion highly unstable. So the carbon cannot form ionic bonds, but carbon can share its valence electrons with another atoms, and as a result the bond which is formed by the sharing of electrons is called the covalent bond. So covalent bonding takes place in case of carbon. Now let us see some examples of covalent bonding. First example is the covalent bonding in nitrogen molecule. Nitrogen atom has 5 electrons in its valence shell, and in order to complete its octet it needs 3 more electrons. So both the nitrogen atoms shares 3 electrons each to form covalent bond, and thus nitrogen molecule is formed. One thing must be noted, that when 2 electrons are shared, one covalent bond is formed, and when 4 electrons are shared, 2 covalent bonds are formed, and when 6 electrons are shared, 3 covalent bonds are formed. Let us consider the example of carbon dioxide. To complete its octet, carbon needs 4 electrons, and oxygen atom has 6 electrons. So each oxygen atom needs 2 more electrons to complete its octet. Thus carbon and 2 oxygen atoms share their electrons to form CO2 molecule. Here 4 electrons have been shared, so double bond is formed. For better understanding, let us consider one more example of methane. In this case, the hydrogen atom has one valence electron and it needs one more electron to complete its K shell. Also, carbon has 4 electrons and it needs 4 more electrons. Thus, carbon can share its 4 valence electrons with 4 hydrogen atoms to form the covalent bonding, and thus methane molecule is formed. So here I am going to stop. In this video I have introduced carbon, its occurrence and the bonding that takes place in carbon. Hope you guys understand it. The topic is lengthy, that is why I have divided it into a few parts, and in the next video I'll post the another part. Thanks for watching.